In a quarantine, everyone bulks. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and this is what I look like now. Okay, well, this is what I look like 5 years ago. Okay, get a good look. Now, this is what I look like now in the same spot. Ooh, okay, that's a big change, right? And that's why you're here, you want to know how I went from this to that. Great, first let's look at everything in between. So, here's the first year of me just being like, okay, whatever, taking the shot in my bathing suit. Second year, ooh, dang, okay, that's, you were leaner. And then third year, started putting on muscle. Fourth year, started putting on more muscle. Fifth year, ooh, I guess we can get more muscle. Now let's see 1 year ago and right now. Huh, not really packing on more muscle. I look kind of the same. Like, each of those changes were pretty big. Visibly, at least, I was really stoked going from this year to this year because you could see my muscle definition in my legs, and that never happened before. And now in the past year, I actually sent last year's photo and this year's photo to my friend, and she was like, no, I can definitely see a difference, like your abs are better, your legs more defined. And I was like, really? Which one is the new photo? And she was like, I don't know. So visually, I would say nothing has changed, but there's been a huge change because I am way stronger. Okay, let's talk about specifics. Between those two photos, I have added 20 pounds to my back squat. And if you don't know what that is, let me show you. The most I'd ever lifted with this movement was 155 one time, and I can now do it at 175 for one time. I actually bet I could go higher if I wasn't here in isolation, barefoot, kicking my stupid squat rack. But that is a huge jump when I had been stagnated for a really long time. Next thing is that I'm 20 pounds up on my front squat, which is even harder than a back squat. You gotta hold it like this, so you have to stay stabilized. It's even more of a core thing. So I only was able to lift 125, and now I'm at 145, yeah, 20 more pounds. And I've also added 21 pounds to my deadlift. Why 21? Well, I don't have to demonstrate that here because I filmed myself getting this PR. I ran out of weight. If you saw my home gym video, I was like, I'm never gonna lift more than 230. I hit 230, and then, well, did this. Yeah. Boom! Oh. So that is 236. Again, looking the same physically and pounding the weights harder. That sounds dumb, but you know what I mean. 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 21 pounds, and then I added 5 pounds to my snatch. And I know after all of that, it sounds not as cool, but snatch is so hard, and I was stuck at 80 pounds for the longest time, and then boom, also filmed this PR, of course. Sorry for the low quality on that. I didn't think I was going to hit it. It's just filming for myself to be like, well, I suck again, and then yes! I get to show you! Now, probably one of the most insane things is that I can now do 6 pull-ups in a row. What? No, I'm not a pull-up person. Does that make sense to you? It makes perfect sense to me. When we were kids and doing the presidential fitness test, I got exactly 0 pull-ups. I knew that I am not a pull-up person, and I would just never do one. I would go my entire life never lifting my entire body with my arms. That's impossible. And now I do it 6 times in a row. What the heck? I gotta go tell grade school me that you are not trapped being what you think you are. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you an example of a pull-up. Do you want me to do that right now? Fine, here we go. This is it. Somehow not impossible now. Wait, can I do 6? Trying to prove it. She's got it. Oh yeah. I guess that is helpful because some people think this is a pull-up, but it's actually a chin-up. And slightly easier because you can use your biceps. Anyway, I'm tired now. Okay, finish the telling specs. So yeah, I don't look that different from last year, but my performance has completely changed, and I'm so stoked about it. I do these types of videos every year where I check in, same photo in that same crappy spot with crappy lighting. Last year, one of my tips was, don't have a goal, just wing it and go for it, and that's exactly what I did this year. I didn't really know that I was going to increase my strength like that, and it was a very happy accident. Like, I'm always gamifying my workouts, so it's fun. I stay motivated because I want to see the numbers go up. I just didn't set a specific goal to be like, 21 pounds on my deadlift. If I did that, I would get all in my head and like want to plan and try and figure out like everything in between the steps from A to B. But instead I was just like, no, I'm just gonna go for it and keep lifting, and then good things happen. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to get somewhere, don't know exactly where you're going, it's fine, because it's just gonna stop you from going. Start moving and then get stoked when you're super strong. Because like last year, I talked about how my legs got more defined, and that was always a trouble spot for me, but I never actually aimed to make my legs more toned. And so what's in the future for me? I don't know. I guess another trouble spot I have is this area seems to carry more fat than the average person. That's where I put my storage weight, so maybe I'll try and get rid of that, but no! Because I don't want to tell you my goals. That's another thing I've talked about in a past video. If you say your goal, if you specifically write out what you're gonna do on Facebook before you do it, you get the same kind of dopamine rush as if you had done it, and then you're way less likely to do it. So scratch that about fat loss in this area. Also, targeted fat loss isn't a thing, because that is not my goal, and if it was, I wouldn't tell you. And now, even though I didn't have a specific number that I wanted to get to, I did focus on gaining strength, and a big part of that was a change that I made. I'm bulking now. And so are you, because we're all trapped in isolation, and what else is there to do but eat? In a quarantine, everyone bulks. But in a past one of these transformation videos, I talked about how I would eat as little as possible a long time ago, and then I started eating to perform. And now, I mean, I was still kind of scared to eat and gain body fat. Even though I was eating to perform, I wasn't eating to really gain weight. And I've started doing that, but really slowly. So adding 100 calories and then staying at that level of calories for weeks at a time to see what my body does, and then add another 100 calories. Because even when I was eating to perform, I would still get zapped sometimes and just feel like knocked out after a hard workout, which means I still wasn't getting enough. And some people give a name to this slowly adding calories thing. It's called reverse dieting. And it is way more fun than not reverse dieting. You're basically slowly adding more energy so your body doesn't just pack it on, but starts speeding up your metabolism, and then your hormones are like, hey, wait, maybe I could get used to this. And it ups your energy levels and will help you lift more stuff. So I've started focusing on fueling my muscles to grow as opposed to trying to add muscle while still being really scared and trying to keep lean. So if I do decide to start dieting, like when quarantine is over, it's gonna be way easier because my calories are gonna be so high that when I bring them down, it's still really high, and mentally it won't be difficult, and my body will be used to burning more, although I still am gonna do it very slowly. Another thing I started doing is stopping caring about the scale. Okay, I'm still working on it, but that is super important. Like when I go from year 1 to year 2, I actually weigh more in year 2, but I look way less fit in year 1. And that was a big moment where I was like, oh wait, I need to pay attention to body fat, not how much gravity is pulling down on my body, because muscle weighs more than fat, and so gaining weight is okay. Stop freaking out about the scale. Because there are times where I went to get a full body DEXA scan to see my body fat, and I will have weighed more, and if I didn't do that scan, I would have been like, no, gaining weight, which means I'm getting out of shape. But then I look at the actual numbers, and my muscle mass has gone up, my body fat has gone down, and weight meant nothing. And I actually was scheduled to do a DEXA scan the day that the lockdown happened. They called me and were like, hey, you're our first client to get a scan, and no humans are allowed to be around other humans anymore, so it's can't. So I don't have those numbers for you. I'm sorry. I'll do it as soon as I can. But I have been using a scale that does body fat, and it sends electricity through you to tell you that. And when I say I stopped caring about the scale, but I'm still working on it, it's because I still use that scale every morning, and I look at my numbers fluctuate, and it kind of gets to me because I'm seeing my body fat and my weight. But the day-to-day fluctuations is what I'm trying to get over. Here, let me show you. Here's the graph of my body fat. And I'm pretty consistent as you look at it overall. But say you're here on this day, and then you go to that day, and that day, and that day, and you're looking at it just in a small section, you kind of start freaking out in the morning. I'm trying to zen my brain out of that because I know overall I'm not gaining body fat. It's just tiny fluctuations day to day, and so I shouldn't be concerned. I should stay the course and stick with my adding calories diet. So I find myself standing on the scale in the morning and telling myself the saying, trust the process. Because it is really cool that I'm turning my body into being a burning machine. We could do a full video just on the scale that I'm using right now. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. Another big change is that I changed my training. About 2 years ago, I found a free program online and I followed that for a year, which is probably too long. And then I decided that I wanted to do a bunch of calisthenic movements, and so I made my own program based around stuff like ring dips and handstands and things that I knew from the past program and combined it all together, and then I did that for a year, which is probably too long. So a few months ago, I switched to a new program, and that's when the strength gains really started happening. And I don't want to say that it's specifically that program that's made me strong, it's just that I did something else. I was experimenting, I was trying something new, and I've talked about this in a past transformation video. You don't have to know the exact right answer, just try something out. And I was like, okay, I'll buy this program and see how it goes for a little bit. Oh my goodness, I'm so strong. I wasn't planning on sticking with it if it didn't do anything, and it did something, so I'm still doing it. And I will tell you, this is not a specific endorsement of them because, like I said, it was just about changing things up for me, I think, but it might work for you. Hybrid performance. I liked what they said online. I follow one of their founders, Steffi Cohen, on Instagram, and so I was like, sure, I'll go for it. And since the lockdown happened, I had to make another change because hybrid performance has Olympic lifting, which I cannot do in here, so I switched to their hybrid powerlifting, and now I can do all of the movements on this guy. Which, by the way, we have yet to come up with a name for this squat rack from the devil. I'm thinking maybe Damien. You guys had a lot of, like, satanic suggestions. So those are all the things I did to transform and also make these huge strength gains in the last year, but I want to add another bullet point. This is just a little bonus. What the heck am I doing saying, oh, I didn't really change from last year to this year and like getting down on myself? No! What? You should celebrate your win! I have trouble with this because I'm very future focused and all I can see is like where I want to go and how slow improvements come now. And I never really look back and go like, whoa, that is a big difference, and I should be proud of myself. So it's hard for me to appreciate how far I've come, and I want to tell you that you should, and don't feel bad about it. You're dope, and you've done good things, and you've gotten places, and you're gonna keep going. Even if you celebrate your past wins, it doesn't mean you're not gonna keep winning. And I appreciate that you're here for these videos because it is a great time for me to stop or reset and think and be like, what? Wait, I can do 6 pull-ups in a row. What? And I'll still probably be doing 7 next week. And I wish you good luck on your fitness journey. Just remember, don't make any goals, experiment, eat more, don't look at the scale, and tell yourself how awesome you are.